Yogi Clan, what's up, y'all? It is Sunday, July 11th, and I haven't brought you a vlog in a while, so I figured today, as I head to a CMOU meeting, I'd bring you a vlog. And you may be wondering what's CMOU. CMOU stands for Carolina's Motorcycle Organizations United. It's kind of like a localized COC. Traditionally, COCs cover the state. This one covers a region. So it's a gathering of, I don't know, a whole bunch of motorcycle clubs. And we get together, and there are a few charities we support. And we are getting ready to have an event, some dirt track racing. So we're having a final meeting today, a final planning meeting today, where we can share what events each club is doing and also plan for this dirt track racing. It should be fun. It should be an old school dirt track, flat track dirt racing rally that we're trying to put together. August 1st should be a blast. But I hadn't brought you a vlog in a while, and a bunch of stuff's been going on lately, so I thought I would bring you along for the ride. If you're new to Yogi Cycle Service, I thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy this video. Nothing really too exciting here. It's meant more for long-term subscribers and those who follow the Yogi Clan and the Yogi Cycle Service channel. So if you're not a follower, hey yo, mash on that subscribe button. What you waiting for? I'd be happy to have you, and I'd be really honored to get your feedback and your comments and maybe some videos that you like to see, because here at Yogi Cycle Service we do a whole lot of wrenching, we do a whole lot of product reviews, we do a whole lot of motorcycle related and Yogi related stuff. So feel free to stop by anytime and check it out. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and checking out this video. So what's up, man? What's been going on in life lately? Well, if you follow me on Facebook, Yogi Cycle Service, or the same thing on Instagram, you will see, you know, there's a video I did a couple months back. It was two videos actually. One was a dedication ride for my brother Mark, who has been fighting cancer. And we also did, it was kind of like called a love parade, where we all rode by his house and did some burnouts, revved some throttles, and just showed our brother, while he's fighting that demon of cancer, some love, you know. And I'll put links to both those videos above. Well, on Friday, July 10th, I'm sad to say my brother finished his fight with cancer. Sad in the respects for us who are here and left behind, but let me tell you, if I were able to talk to Mark now and say, hey man, you want to come back? Heck no would be his answer, I'm sure, because he is in a much better place right now. No more pain, no more earth, you know, you don't have to worry about bills, you don't have to worry about anything. He is singing praises to our God, which I know he's loving every minute of that, and there's no way he'd want to come back to this earth and do it again. So sad in the respects of those of us who are missing our brother, but rejoicing because we know that he's in a much better place. So praise God, thank you Lord for taking my brother home to be with you. And yeah, so it is Sunday. That was 2 days ago, and his funeral is going to be on Tuesday of this week, which is probably the day that this video will be posted up. So we just ask for your prayers for his family, for us, his charter who loves him. And yeah, there's a saying we have, is dogwood strong, and Mark started that. So dogwood strong, my brother. And we actually had a t-shirt made up that says dogwood strong, so we're all planning on wearing our cuts to the funeral, wearing our dogwood strong shirts, and doing one last final ride with our brother, wearing the shirts that he inspired. So that's going on. I got a motorcycle in the garage I've been working on off and on for about 2 weeks now, replacing the handlebars, replacing the bushings, rebuilding the forks, doing a whole bunch of stuff to it, replacing switches on it. And it seems like, I don't know what's up, but every every time I go to work on this bike, I get about an hour into it and I run into some kind of holdup. So I've got the forks rebuilt, got the fluids in them, got it put back together. It's all, that part's done. So now I went to replace the bushings before I mount the forks, because it's just easier with less stuff in the way. And the old bushings, the stock bushings, the height of them is, I don't know exactly, you know, it's about, both of them put together, it's maybe 2 inches. You put the two, and he put the orange bushings in. The black bushings came out, the orange bushings are going in, and it's like 2.5 inches when you place them together and put the caps on them. And I can't get the frickin' bolts to snag. And even if I got them to snag and kind of crushed it down a little bit, which I need to look up a torque spec to see what the torque is on that you're supposed to tighten it to. But irregardless, even if I tighten it, let's say it's, you know, 35, 40 pounds, and I can crush it down a little bit, you're still only going to have about a 1/4 inch of that bolt up into the riser. And I'm thinking, that's not good, man. He hits one hard bump and pushes on those handlebars, and that's going to pop right out of the riser, and I don't like that. And I don't like cutting corners when I fix bikes, so I'm going to stop by Lowe's and grab some grade 8 bolts, and I realize I'm probably going to have to cut the bolts to get them to the right length, which is fine. I'll cut them, maybe put the end on the grinder, put a little grind on it, that way it's a nice rounded edge, and then I'll put two nuts on the bolt, that way I can thread it off and keep the threads so that the threads will grab. So I might actually buy 3 of them in case I screw one of them up. But that's the plan, so I'm gonna do that today. I gotta mow the lawn today, and as soon as I get those risers put on, the riser bushings put on, then I can put his handlebars back on, put together, and all I'll have to do is swap out his brake line, swap out his clutch line, and bleed both, and that bike will be done and out of my garage. And Big D, I'm sorry it's taken a while. It's just, dang, dude, everything I've done on this bike, for instance, we're rebuilding the shocks, and they send one little cup that the shock, the dampener sits in. They sent one with this package. So as I take apart these forks and and test fit everything together, I realize one of these cartridges, fork cartridges, shock cartridges, fits in the fork, and I can put the bolt up through the bottom. But the other one, it's like it won't reach, it won't work. So I had to pull the shock apart. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if I'm gonna pull the shock apart, I don't want to cut corners and use the same little rubber gasket, because, man, if I do and I nick that gasket, or something's wrong with that gasket, or it's a little bit dry, then he's going to start leaking fork oil out it. So okay, let's go down to the Harley and get a new gasket. So I go down to the Harley and like, oh, it says we have 2 in stock, but there's none on the shelves. Dang it. So now I got to run all over the place trying to find a new freaking gasket, just one. I probably should have replaced both, but the bike only has 16,000 miles, so I figure the other gasket's still fine as long as I don't take the shock apart. So I replaced that gasket. Finally got one out of Durham, North Carolina, while I was up there for work. I replaced that, put the shock back together, everything went back together beautifully, and then started on the riser bushings, and frickin' the bolt doesn't fit. Dang, dude. So every time I work on this bike, I get an hour in and I run into some hurdle. You know, when I went to start the shocks, I was working on it and I realized I didn't have the 19 millimeter Allen to put on an impact gun to take the top cap off the shock. Well, that was a 2-day wait for Amazon to bring me one. And then I went to work on putting the handlebars on, realized that the bottom bar, because it's a 3-piece handlebar, if you have questions about that, I'll be releasing a video soon. Pretty cool handlebars, KST Customs. But he ordered them with a 1 1/4 inch bottom bar to go into the risers, and that it only accepts a 1-inch bar. So we had to swap that out. That wouldn't work. It's just been one little hold up after another. And then, you know, life, you know, so the window of opportunity I had to do this bike disappeared with part problems, and trying to get back into it, it's just been hard. But I think we're over the hurdles now. I think we got all the right parts and pieces. As soon as I get these riser bolts, hopefully everything else should work well. I've got the handlebars already wired. Meat hooks, I vowed I wouldn't do them, but I did. And I soldered a harness, pulled the wires through, and we're good. So I'm going to be dropping a video soon on how I extend wire harnesses. That might be coming out Thursday. And then we're going to show a video on how to rebuild forks. That'll probably be coming out the following week. And oh man, I found there's this $35 tool that you could build to put in the gasket into the forks, and I was like, I'm not buying that stupid tool. 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC works perfect. Bought a 5-foot piece for about $6. Basically cut it in half, busted out my grinder, ground out about an inch up from the end of it to just make the outside diameter of it just a hair thinner. And let me tell you, it worked absolutely beautiful, absolutely picture perfect. So now I got everything I need that I can rebuild forks, which is good because Miss Piggy needs a new set of front springs. I'm thinking of Progressive. This one is a Legends front fork kit, which I hear is the bomb. From what everyone I've talked to has said, is this Legends kit is like the best thing they've ever done to their Harley. I've heard a couple people say that. So I'm really hoping the customer digs it. I'm really excited to hear his response. But I'm thinking Progressive for my fat boy. I don't know if I'm going to lower it. I was thinking about lowering it at maybe an inch. But I already have the back so low, the thing already scrapes when I go on the lift. If I lower the front an inch, I won't be able to get it on my table lift, which that would be a problem. Oh, yo. Thank you. So I don't think I'm going to lower the front. I think I'm just going to replace the shocks, but the springs. But it needs it really bad on the fat boy. I mean, it's got 102,000 miles and they're still the stock fronts. I'm sure those springs are pretty darn tired. So that's going on. One of my kiddos is starting high school soccer this week. Ridiculous, man. They're like, oh yeah, we can let the kids play soccer, but when they're sitting on the bench, they're going to need to wear their mask. Really? They're going to be sweating all over each other on the field, but yet when they sit down, you're going to make them wear a mask. Oh yeah, that'll protect them. Great move. I have a feeling when school starts, once the first kid tests positive for COVID, the second kid tests positive for COVID, once COVID starts running rampant through the schools, which I bet's what's going to happen, they'll probably shut down school again. Go back to online. And he's going to be a senior this year, so I just, and I got a daughter in college who's going to be a senior. I just feel bad for him. And typically at soccer, I'm the announcer. The past 2 years, I've been the announcer for the men's Lake Norman Charter High School soccer team, announcing all the games. So I'm curious whether I'm going to do that this year, his final season. I have a feeling probably because nobody else wants to do it, and I got drafted into it. And they're like, oh yeah, you do great. Keep doing it. Well, I've had the same playlist of like 30 songs because it's really hard to find some clean songs to play at a high school soccer game. So I've had the same playlist now for 2 years, so I gotta find some good songs. If you know any good songs, put them in the comment below that I could play. Can't have cussing, can't talk about drugs, can't talk about drinking. That eliminates 90% of modern day songs. So if you know of any, but you can find some stuff in the 80s, Heck, even old Motley Crue didn't cuss and didn't talk about drugs and drinking. Technically you could play Shout at the Devil because it didn't have any cussing. Didn't talk about sex, drugs, or drinking. Old Ozzy, old Motley Crue. Yeah, you could probably play that because it passes the criteria, but they don't really want to hear it. That's the dude I'm supposed to meet. What is up with that?
I sent you a message. You gotta go to, I got Mark's cut going to Whitley's funeral home first.
Okay. All right, changing plan. Look at that. Well, that was interesting. The dude I'm supposed to go meet out that way, about 30 miles. I'm supposed to meet him in, I don't know, half hour. I was a little early. That worked out pretty well. That's funny. Alright, y'all. Well, I'm going to go enjoy a ride with my brother as we head to the funeral home. Brother Mark's going to be buried in his cut. He earned that. Great man of God. I miss you, brother. Hopefully I will see you in a heavenly place soon. God bless you, Yogi clan. Stay safe. Stay out of trouble. As my friend Stitch says, stay humble, stay blessed. Alright, y'all. Peace.